What's good, sneakerheads? I'm back at it like a crack in my attic. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like, what's it, homeboy says, alright. So, anyway, I'm back at it with another one from the All-Star Weekend drop. This one was my number one, moved to number two with the Black Sheep drop. So, still kind of there, you know what I'm saying? But I couldn't pass this one up, like, seriously. Especially after everything that I went through, I gotta keep this. And seeing it in hand, the quality is actually really good. So, and they're about to drop on the Sneakers app if they haven't already. So, if y'all want it, I highly recommend it. Let's go ahead and jump into it, though. Shout out to Social Status. Amazing. The whole way that it was handled wasn't, but that's a whole nother story. We'll get into that. This right here is my wristband that I had to use to get it. It was number 128. It's a whole nother thing that we'll get into later on. So there's the box. Size 12. And as you can see, I don't know if you can actually see it or not, right there, it says $200. The shoe is actually $250. And, if you guys have watched a few things of like Mayer and, people like that, they always say, they're asked like, what sneaker collab would you do? And they're always like, I would do it with this or this or this, but I don't really want to do it because they won't allow you to make any money. That's because they want it to be sold for that price. But like Social Status, they went ahead and jacked the price up $50 so they can make 50, $60 on the whole deal, So, I mean, you can't hold it against them. People got to make money. So, ooh. There we go. There we go. Bang, right there. Gotta be delicate with it, you know what I'm saying? Delicate. Alright. These are the Social Status Jordan 6 NRGs. They are absolutely amazing. They were designed by James Whitner, who's the owner of Social Status. Manier, I butchered that, and a few other places, like sneaker boutiques and whatnot. This sneaker was designed specifically for Charlotte. You can see that with the Concord colors that represent Charlotte. The black and the hair and everything on it is the Black Cat, which is what everybody calls Jordan. There's a lot of thought that goes into this sneaker. So we'll get into that in a minute. So the sneaker features black pony hair all across here. And then this right here is kind of like a fox snakeskin. It's really a leather. And it's actually a pretty good quality leather. But it's made to look like snakeskin, if you could see. It's got the white kind of distressed look between what would be the scales of it to kind of give it depth. How they went about doing it was amazing, I was thinking when I got it, I was kind of let down because I was like, it's not real snakes, or it wouldn't be real anyway, but it's not like the Question 2.0 that I have right here. Check that video out. That fake snake skin actually looks like real snake skin. So I was kind of let down thinking that this would be the same way. But the more I look at it and mess with it, if it did, it would have thrown off the whole shoe. So I am really glad that they did it this way. It just makes the shoe pop in a way that it wouldn't have otherwise. It's got Nike right there on the lace lock, which is also different than most of the other Jordan 6s that have been released over the past few years. those had the Jumpman logo on them. The original in 1991 had Nike on the lace lock. I believe it had Nike and Jumpman on the lace lock, actually. And just like the infrareds that just dropped, it's got Nike Air on the back. Can't complain about that, you know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure they wouldn't have done it any other way because of the fact that this is the city that Jordan introduced the original infrared Jordan 6 back in 1991 during that All-Star game in Charlotte. So if they would have thrown a Jumpman on it, it just wouldn't have been the same. So that's the whole reason why they chose the 6. Like, it goes real deep. It was debuted in Charlotte. Jordan owns the Charlotte Hornets. He lives in Charlotte. He had the 91 All-Star game, and then this is the 2019 All-Star game, which is why they, re-released the shoe that he debuted, which was the Infrared 6, and they did it in OG form for this All-Star game as well. Everything's identical to it, all the way down to the infrared used, except this one I think has more premium materials. Social status was completely redone for this. Here's a picture of it a few days beforehand. You could see they got paper all over the windows. Like, that store had been shut down for a good month. They were selling shoes out of this house that was like 2 blocks away. And they said that whoever went to go cop these would be welcomed with like an all-star experience, and stuff like that. So, we couldn't wait. We went the night before and found out they were going to be doing wristbands. We were just going to check it out, see what's going on, because Terrell heard that they were going to do wristbands. So he went up there and said, "What's up?" Ultimately, they did, but the way they went about it was absolutely horrible. They corralled all of us. Here's the inside look at that sneaker. They corralled all of us inside this parking lot with cages all around us, like, barricades or whatnot. And we were in there with like 400 people plus for, a good 2 hours. And it just kept getting more and more people, and they come out. And everybody crowds, it was like the worst concert I've ever been to. I literally could have just let my knees buckle and I wouldn't have fallen. I had people all over me, like pushing me side to side, front to back. There's no way you can move. And people just kept coming, kept pushing. There were kids at the front of the barricade. It was ridiculous. So they would come out with like 10 wristbands at a time. And you just can't give certain people power. This is part of the Nike security team that did this. They would come out and everybody would be crowding them and, having their arms up and everything. And the guy would just look and he would be like, all right, you. And he would give somebody a wristband and then they would have to work their way to the gate and somehow get over the gate to get out. And he'd be like, okay, you. They didn't even try to line people up. They didn't try to do anything. It was absolutely ridiculous. So about an hour of that going on, like everybody would gather on one side and then somebody else would come out with 10 more wristbands and they'd run to the other side and, crush people over there and then run back to this side, crush people over here. Like, I just stood on one side. Like, every time the group would run, I would just get closer and closer to the front. So, no big deal there. I'll finish that up in a second. I really want to get these on feet and check this out. these look absolute fire on feet. And the one thing that I noticed is just like the Question snake skins, the inside right here is all leather. It's got leather guts like all the way around it, and it's really, really nice quality leather. It's not some BS. Like, this is really soft, like almost worn, broken in leather. This is absolutely amazing. And I almost wish that these would have came with like some purple laces or something, but they didn't come with any extra laces. So, oh yeah, and it's got the typical, clear, translucent, icy outsole with the clear air bubble. So, they would do that, and then eventually it got to the point where they just started bringing more out. At one point, this guy came out with a bunch of wristbands and actually came into the lion's den, and everybody just went after him. If I've got a video, I'll post it right here. Everybody just crowded around this dude. It was like they're going to tear him apart. There was so many people around this dude just pushing him against the wall. And while that was going on, I stayed over by the gate with Terrell, and they were like, all right, just stand here, put your arm outside the gate, line up, and we'll come through and put tags on. It was so messed up that I was standing right next to Terrell. Terrell got number 52, I think. I got number 128. And we were right next to each other. It was absolutely insane. And, the next day we come back out, and they said they were going to open the store around 9. So I don't think they actually opened it until 10. And they lined everybody up around the barricade. We sat there in line for a good 45 minutes before they even started, or probably 30 minutes before they even started letting people in. They let probably 20 people at a time across the street. We were there for a good 3.5 hours before we got it. Now, these dropped alongside the UNC ones, the patent leather women's ones. So everybody was like, yo, I'm going for those. I'm going for those. I'm not even going for these. Like, nobody really seemed to even care about these. But after everything that we went through, even if they couldn't get the UNC ones, they wanted these just because you went through blood, sweat, and tears to get them. And everybody that was going to get these to sell them wanted to keep them just because of everything that they went through to get them. So yeah, Terrell had an early number. He had won the UNCs from Hibbett. Ultimately, I did get the UNCs. Here's proof of it. But I ended up selling those immediately because I got a small size. I didn't get them from there either. I got them from a restock at Foot Locker. But Terrell got out of line, left to go get his UNCs that he got at Hibbett, came back. They had already called his number. He was like, he went at number 70 something then. And he called me and he was like, yo, cash at me some money. They've got them, blah, blah, blah. And then he was like, well, they just sold out. So if he went with his number, he could have copped them. But they were sold out for me. All they had were these. Here's, a clip of the inside of the store. They had white label Jordan brand stuff in there. They had all types of things. They had every shoe that was going to drop for All-Star Weekend in there in a case. Jordan was in this like VIP room in the back. It's the one with like the purple light on. There was just all types of craziness that was going on there. And it was actually pretty cool, but it wasn't the full experience that I assumed was going to happen there when they said, everybody's going to have an all-star experience. I was expecting like free stuff, like free shirts or whatever. I was going to cop a black t-shirt that said, 2019 All-Star Weekend, Charlotte, North Carolina. Which I saw somewhere else. I think it was at Hibbett or something as a sweatshirt, but this one said social status on it. The shirt was like $50. I was like, you kidding me, bro? Like, nah. It was screen printed. Like, no, I'm good. I'll just deal with these, Now, like I said, James Whitner was the creator, or is the creator of Social Status, Ammanir, and a few other places. And Ammanir, I know I'm butchering that, is in DC. It's got like a luxury hotel attached to it where you can stay at the sneaker boutique. It's crazy. He was there with Jordan. He designed this one. The story about him, he's been in the sneaker game for about 14 years. He had a really rough upbringing. He's from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And, he went to prison. He ended up getting shot when he was released and recuperated from the gunshot wound and everything. He wanted to start fresh, so he moved to a new city, which was Charlotte, North Carolina, to start fresh. And he ultimately created a boutique. I think it was a clothing boutique or something called the Flava Factory, and that's how everything started for him. So that was kind of how he, got in the game in a way. And then later on, after he created more stores, he created a group called the Whitner Group. Whitner, I'm pretty sure. I can't pronounce his last name. Whitner, I'm pretty sure. The Whitner Group, and that started opening up a lot of doors for him. It was like an umbrella company, and ultimately that led to being able to create this sneaker and a bunch of other things. Now, because of the influence that he actually has on his community, Jordan Brand actually gave him a one of one Jordan 4 Wings sneaker, and the leather on it looks absolutely amazing. I put up a picture of it, so you're looking at that. Now, because of the influence and everything that he's had on the community, Jordan Brand actually, in a pretty nice ceremony, gifted him a Jordan 4 Wings. It's a one of one. It's all black. Thing looks amazing. The leather on it looks so buttery. That is absolutely crazy. But he deserves it. He's done a lot. So, what do you think about these sneakers? Did you cop them? Are you gonna cop them? They're on the sneakers app now for the 21st, I believe, is a release. They did a lot of stash drops and everything else with these, and it was right after I copped it. We got in the car to leave, and that's another thing. This whole drop, besides that craziness, when I was in line about to get this sneaker, I was at the front door. The dude behind me was like, "Oh my God, they booted my car." So when we get in the car to leave, we drive past the CVS parking lot, which is right down the street. Everybody's parked separately than the customers, like in this huge parking lot. They're just grouped together. Every single one of the cars have a boot on it. Like 16 cars have boots on it. It's absolutely insane. And the same thing happened with the Black Sheep drop. We leave there and drove past. There was like 14 cars that all had boots on it. Like nobody learned. And while we were waiting in line for Black Sheep, they were just going down the line talking about, "We're going to tow your car over here. We're going to tow your car over here." And there's nowhere to park there anyway. You're talking about 600 people for maybe enough space for like 40 cars. Like, it's absolutely insane. So, turned out good for us though. We figured we're from here, so we knew where to park and everything. It worked out good. So, yeah, are you going to cop these? What do you think? I highly recommend it. If you don't cop it, the price is probably going to go up. They only made 7,000 pairs of them, which seems like a lot, but it's really not. So I highly recommend it if you're going to want them in your collection. Like, you definitely need them in your collection. I would say more so for the people that waited, just because we went through a lot to get them, but you guys deserve it too, so go for it. You can get it for a good price now. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment. Follow me on social media. Links are in the description. You want to subscribe, because even if you weren't in Charlotte, I've got a video coming, showing the sneakers area, like the sneakers pop-up that they had, the Jordan pop-up inside the social status. I already showed a clip of, like a whole bunch of stuff. So the whole All-Star experience in line, everything. So make sure to turn on notifications, and I will catch you on the next one. Hope you have a good one. Stay safe. See y'all later. Peace.